What's good, everybody? It is the Baltimore Dark Knight coming at you from the Batcave. All right, my last video I was talking about I was going to do my upgrade test, and unfortunately on Friday I was able to just do the multiple choice portion of the upgrade. The mentor or whoever was supposed to do my road test and backing wasn't there, so I'll go back and do that actually tomorrow. So I will be fully upgraded tomorrow. I'll be official tomorrow. But though I cannot obviously give you answers and stuff like that for the tests, it's the written test. I will tell you is over 50 questions, and it's just like I've been saying before. Know your Qualcomms as far as your codes. Know how to read a load plan or pre-plan. Know what information is on that pre-plan. Know, basic driving skills. Know basic functions of the tractor trailer. Know air brakes. You know, just it's a combination of things that you learned in school, things that you learned on your mentor's truck, and things that even some things that you probably took when you went to get your permit done. So I would use for study guide. I would use the mentor student guide that you're given when you graduate the academy. Any notes that you took for as far as remembering your Qualcomm codes, your pre-plans, the notes that you took in your mentor's guide, because there's pre-plan information in there, there's pre-plan scenarios in there. So all of those things I would use as a study guide. It took me maybe 5 to 10 minutes to do it. It wasn't that hard. Most of it really wasn't hard at all. Most of it was common sense. A lot of it was common sense stuff, and a lot of it is stuff that your mentor should be teaching you. And this is why it goes back to another video where I was talking about your mentor. You are not stuck with your mentor. If you feel that your mentor is not training you, or is not willing to train you and not giving you the information that you need, first give them an opportunity to give you the information, because just in the first couple, maybe in the first day or so, of course they're not going to be able to throw everything at you. Give it a couple days. I know I fired my first mentor in the first 3 days, but that was more because of attitude than anything else. Yes, he wasn't willing to train, but I was willing to give him some more time if his attitude would have been a little better. So, you know, again, if you're feeling like your mentor is not giving you the training that you need, you feel there's a conflict between personalities, because that can be a thing too. Cleanliness, all kind of things. Move on to another mentor. Call your driver manager and tell them you want to get off that truck, and within a few days you'll be on another truck. It's just that simple. Drivers managers, they don't ask questions why. At least mine's didn't. Mine was like, okay, if that's how you feel, we'll get you on another one. Now, you may get a call from an HR specialist later on down the road who may ask you, why. But other than that, it's not a fireable offense. It's none of that, at least not on your part. Now, I don't know about the mentor, but on your part, it's not hey, you get kicked out the program because, you essentially fired a mentor. It's just, hey, Swift wants to make sure that you get the training that is due you. So, you got to open your mouth. You got to use your words, as we tell, for those of us who are parents and grandparents that tell our grandchildren and children, use your mouth. Well, use your mouth and speak up, because it's you that's going to be out there alone or on a team, and you need to know this information. So do not be afraid to get rid of a mentor if they're not doing what they're supposed to do. These people are getting paid anywhere between $15,000 and an extra $25,000 a year to make sure all their students are trained. So make them work. Okay. Make them work for you. All right. So that is my advice. But as far as the testing, they it's funny, they don't really tell you that in the when you go through the academy, or even some recruiters may not tell you. But yes, once you graduate the academy, yes, you have your CDL and whatever endorsements that you have. But then you go on your mentor's truck for 200 hours. You learn that trade. That's phase two. Phase three is the final official test. So the over 50 question written or multiple choice test. Then there's a short driving and a backing portion that you have to do. Once phase three is done, you're on to phase four, which phase four is you're on your own or you're on the team truck if you opted to do that. So again, the test was really easy. I actually missed two. And when I went back and looked at the two, because they let me review the two that I got wrong, I was like, wow, I I knew those answers. So, it is what it is. Didn't matter to me. I passed. I ended up probably, if I would have did the percentage, I probably would have ended up with like a 95% on it. So I'm not tripping at all. So tomorrow I'll get up. I'll be at the Jonestown terminal somewhere between 8 and 9, and I'll do the last portion, which is the driving and the backing, and then I'll be official. So it is all good. I'm excited. Can't wait to get out there and get on the truck. Hopefully, I get to drive a Volvo or maybe a K Dub, simply because that's what I drove when I was on my mentor trucks. I don't ever recall driving a Freightliner, not even in school. I think in school we had Volvos. I know it wasn't a K Dub. So, the only thing I remember driving in school was a Volvo. So, we'll see. Truck is a truck to a point. So I'll just have to adjust fire if I end up driving a truck that I've never driven. Now, I talked to a few of my classmates that went through and already have done their upgrade. And they're out on their own. A couple of them said that they actually tested in a sleeper. Friday, I ran into another one of my classmates who's out of the Jonestown terminal, who was actually getting ready to leave to do his first load. So he literally just finished upgrading. And he told me he tested out on a day cab. So I don't know which one, they're going to test me out on, but I'm going to use my fantastic simulator that I have over here. And I'm going to get the digital feeling for what a day cab would feel like. And I was using it yesterday, and there really wasn't any difference that I could visually see or digitally feel. The only difference is obviously the cab is shorter because there's no sleeper on it. But the turn radius, everything was the same digitally. So if I happen to do that, if I happen to test with a day cab out there, then I'll get the real life feel for it. But I use my setup the same exact way with a day cab as I did with a sleeper, and everything was the same. So we shall see today, and obviously we shall see tomorrow. So once I am official tomorrow, I will post another video within a few days of tomorrow, and let you know how everything goes. So for those of you who are out on the road, be safe, be healthy, watch your hygiene out there, because hitting these truck stops and there's shipping and receivers, you don't know who's been around and what they've touched and what they've been exposed to. So just be careful and take care of yourself. And for those of us who are sitting at home waiting to go back to work or test or on our mentor's truck, whatever, it's the same thing. Be safe, be healthy, keep your hygiene up to a high standard, and take care of yourself, take care of your families, and just overall be safe. If you don't have to be out, don't be out. And I say this not only as a truck driver, but I say this as a soldier in the United States Army. a lot of states have put out stay-at-home orders. And again, if you don't have to be out, don't be out. If you got to go to the food market, if you got to go, to a doctor's office or something like that, do what you have to do. Protect yourself while you're out there, and then go back home. All right. So with that, it's the Baltimore Dark Knight. I'm about to get on my simulator and do some cool things. Now, for those of you who wonder what I mean by simulator, I actually have a wheel. It's the Logitech G920 wheel setup with the pedals, and it actually came with a gear shifter, which I don't use because I only drive automatics, but I use for racing games. And I have the frame that it came with to set it all up. I have my HP laptop with American Truck Driver Simulator, Truck Driver Simulator on it, installed on it with the whole entire United States map on there, and that's what I use to practice. If I can't be in a real truck, I could at least practice on the simulator. And by the way, some of the Swift terminals actually have simulators in them. Now, I know the Jonestown terminal has one. I haven't seen it in operation yet, but I know it is in the, for those of us who are from the Jonestown terminal, it is in the driver qualification office. I haven't seen it in operation yet, again, like I said, but I'm sure that they will put that in operation soon. But it is a cool tool. And, if you happen to have the funds to do it and you're looking at getting into truck driving, then, the G920 Logitech wheel set definitely is something I would get. An American Truck Driver Simulator is probably about $15, to buy it and download it off of Steam. And then you can go to a website, which I'll go to the website and I'll actually post it in the description of another video, or maybe I'll edit this one and put it in. But you can go to another website and download the full United States map mod, and you can do deliveries all over the United States. And they're real roads, real routes. So everything is pretty realistic. The only thing that you're really not doing is you're not physically unhooking, you're not coupling and uncoupling, and you're not actually putting in your Qualcomm messages. But as far as watching the GPS, as far as being able to adjust your mirrors, as far as being able to start and turn off the engine or put on your parking brakes, as far as being able to see your window of time for your delivery and how much time you have remaining to rest and or deliver your load, or how much time it's supposed to take you to deliver your load, actually going to fuel stops, taking your rest breaks, all that is pretty doggone realistic. Even hitting way stations, it's in the game. So it's really a good simulator. There's a couple other ones out there. I think there's Euro Simulator, and there's another one that I don't remember off the top of my head. But for me, American Truck Driver Simulator helped me through the academy when I was off, and when I took that 2 weeks to let my knee recover. And it's still continuing to help me, when I'm just sitting at home and I'm not on the truck, and I just want to, do a couple deliveries here. I can come down to the back cave and I can just do a couple digital deliveries, and actually, if I want to, if I'm not worried about taking a penalty for not delivering a load on time, then I'll just practice backing. So there's some good tools in there, and there's not a mod as of yet for just to practice backing, but you can set up different profiles. I have a profile set up for my daughter. I have one for myself. But you can also set up another profile if you just want to practice parking. You can just drive freely. You can accept a load, just drive freely. And if you don't care about the load being delivered, then just go somewhere and park. That's it. I've seen a lot of people do that. So those are a couple of suggestions. If you have a permit already or you have your CDL and you know somebody who has a truck and they're willing, ask them to, see if they can take you to a truck stop, or, maybe to their terminal or something, if their terminal will allow it. And, just practice parking. Can't hurt, right? Practice makes perfect. So with that being said, I think I've taken up your time for long enough. Again, take care of yourself, take care of your family, stay healthy, keep your hygiene up to standard, and I'll see you when I see you. Baltimore Dark Knight out.